Live from KSAT 12, the Nightbeat starts right now.
Tonight, a rally to end violence against children. This after two gruesome cases of alleged abuse here in San Antonio took the lives of two children just this week.
Organizers tell the night team's Lee Waldman enough is enough.
The basketball court turned into a stage for anti-child abuse advocates to make their voices heard at Alforge Park.
These children are not just statistics. They matter. There are children.
This call to action rally comes just days after two separate horrific cases of alleged child abuse led to the deaths of 12-year-old Danilo Coles and 5-year-old Mercedes Lozoya.
This isn't just abuse. This was straight up murder.
Hearing about the alleged beatings and treatment of both Danilo and Mercedes inspired her to organize this rally to show the community the winds of change are blowing.
We need to really come back to the table and work smarter on how we're examining our state department, our child welfare system.
In Mercedes' case, SAPD Chief William McManus says both Child Protective Services and his department were involved, yet there was still a failure to protect this little girl, leaving him lost on the solution to a heartbreaking problem.
We say enough is enough over and over again, but apparently it just doesn't stop. And I don't know how to change. I don't know how we change people's behavior to make them stop.
Tonight, Mercedes' family held her photos and cried as the community lifted their hands,
Father, as we surround this
praying for the lives ended by violence, praying for the winds to truly bring change.
Horrible, horrible tragedy with that little girl and the little boy prior to her.
One of the biggest messages shared tonight is we all need to step up and help children in need. Don't hesitate to call someone to intervene because it could save a life. At Alforge Park, Lee Waldman, KSAT 12 News.
6.2 kilograms of black tar heroin now in the possession of the Bexar County Sheriff's Office after a recent drug bust. That equals about $620,000 worth. 29-year-old Fabian Mora is being booked onto conspiracy to possess with intent to distribute heroin charges. The bust comes after a multi-agency investigation with SAPD and the DEA. Narcotics officers conducted a traffic stop near I-37 and Fair Avenue. That's when the heroin was found inside the car Mora was driving.
Now to the latest on a human smuggling case we've been following for you since yesterday morning. Tonight, we are learning 3 people are now in federal custody. According to the arrest affidavit, 17-year-old Angel Villafranca, along with 17-year-old Juan Garcia and 20-year-old Fernando Castanon, were taken into custody of Homeland Security. 25 people were discovered in the back of a big rig in the parking lot of a shopping center near Loop 410 and Highway 151. Castanon told Homeland Security that he was allegedly hired by Garcia to provide security for that big rig transporting a group of undocumented immigrants from Mexico to the U.S. Garcia admitted to investigators that he did receive money to ensure that tractor trailer crossed the border and made it to San Antonio. $40 worth of stripped copper cut off power to an entire shopping center for hours this afternoon over on the west side.
And a medical clinic in that area almost lost more than what could be paid back.
Employees telling the night team's John Paul Barajas they don't believe this was an isolated incident.
Shavings of stripped copper are littered behind a west side shopping center off South Zarzamora and West Commerce. Suspects cut electrical wires to get to the copper, in turn cutting off power to all the businesses. But for Gano Health Clinic, the problem was much bigger than not being able to make transactions.
This is sometimes the only way that they can get out of here. And then not to mention, obviously, I have medications in my refrigerators. I have vaccines, not only flu, but even COVID vaccines. I need to make sure that those are secure and safe. And so we actually loaded those up into an ice chest and transported them to my other clinic so that I wouldn't compromise the integrity of the vaccines.
The clinic's regional director, Rafael Pena, says he found out about the power around 9 a.m. He got to work in calling an electrician, ordering parts, and getting same-day delivery to get everything back up and running by 2:30 this afternoon. All said and done, roughly $40 of copper cost them thousands. The shopping center here does have security cameras in the back, but Pena believes the suspects used this dumpster to get out of its view. Now, once they were back here, they cut through the chain link fence, taking them straight to this box that was unlocked at the time where they stripped the copper. They've since added security measures. Pena explained they're used to crime in the area. He's had his vans and building vandalized, some of which he still hasn't gotten to cover up. And one time, his x-ray machine was shut off because
3 weeks ago, they came and they cut that box, and so my camera caught them.
So they cut this box right here?
They cut that box right there, yeah.
How'd they get up to it?
They brought a ladder, believe it or not. They had a ladder.
Pena says he's going to use this most recent theft to see where he can improve security at the shopping center. He's also reached out to SAPD and his district's councilperson to see if they can help. As for the suspects in this case, we're still waiting to hear back from police. At Public Safety Headquarters, John Paul Rojas, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, John Paul. The Bexar County Sheriff's Office needs your help finding an 82-year-old man who was last seen back on January 21st. This is Raul Gonzalez Robles. His family reported that he disappeared on Thursday. He was last seen in the central San Antonio area, but could possibly be in Mexico. Anyone with any information on his whereabouts is asked to call the BCSO Missing Persons Unit at 210-335-6000.
An overnight shooting leads to one person in the hospital, 2 suspects on the run, and a Via police officer now under investigation. The shooting happened around 11 o'clock last night on East Maple, not far from I-35 and West Elmira Street. San Antonio police say the Via officer saw a vehicle speeding and initiated a traffic stop. As the officer was walking towards that vehicle, someone from inside allegedly opened fire. That officer returning fire, but the vehicle took off. Hours later, one of the people from that vehicle showed up at University Hospital with a gunshot wound. Police believe there are 2 more suspects involved.
A T-bone car crash sends 3 people to the hospital overnight. The crash happened on the San Pedro Avenue near San Pedro Springs Park. San Antonio police say a white truck ran through a barrier and T-boned a car. The driver of the car had to be rescued by the jaws of life. He was unconscious and taken to University Hospital. His front passenger also taken to University in serious condition, but a back passenger was uninjured. Over in that truck, the driver was taken to University and police determined they were driving drunk. Charges are expected.
New tonight, the San Antonio Fire Department mourning the loss of one of their own, 24-year veteran Lieutenant Shadi Henshaw. He died after a battle with occupational cancer, according to the department. Henshaw's last assignment was at the Fire Training Academy, where he served as a training officer. In a statement, the department said in part, quote, "Our SAFD family extends our most sincere condolences and sympathy to the Henshaw family and hope they all know that they will forever be a part of our family," end quote. University of Incarnate Word School of Nursing is hosting a health clinic that will include COVID vaccines, testing, and other health screenings. It's all happening tomorrow at Sacred Heart Catholic Church from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. The event will offer first, second, and booster doses, and information on the Affordable Health Care Plan, Medicaid, free kidney screenings, as well as free vision exams. City officials will also be there to give out information on mortgage, utility, and internet assistance.
Well, the St. Mary's Strip looked a little bit different today. That's because U.S. Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was in town paying a visit. It was part of the Get Out to Vote rally held at the live music venue Paper Tiger. The goal was to encourage San Antonians to vote as early voting approaches. Hundreds attended the event, and opponents set up across the street hoping their voices would be heard as well.
And I feel like this is really going to re-energize people who weren't sure about getting involved upcoming to these primaries.
We're holding down the line. We're the frontline patriots. You know, we have to let everybody know and be loud. We have to let them know that they're not going to come to San Antonio. They're not going to do what they did in California here in San Antonio.
Attendees from both sides say the rally was peaceful and they were able to have positive discussions about issues they both care about. Early voting begins this coming Monday.
Looking ahead to tomorrow morning, joining the GMSA team on Leading SA is the CEO of Communities in Schools San Antonio. They will be talking about the donation, what it means for our local districts, and how our local schools fare in comparison to others across the country. You can submit your questions right now. Just head over to the Leading SA section on KSAT.com.
Well, after a week of picture-perfect weather, we did have some changes roll in today. Cold front came through this morning. No rain, unfortunately, but a whole lot of wind. We had some wind gusts up in the 40-mile-per-hour range, few gusts close to 50 miles per hour. Thankfully, wind speeds really dropped after the sun went down, and the wind won't be a nuisance for the rest of the weekend. So some good news there. Low temperature today, 49. The high temperature, just 57. That's 10 degrees below average for this time of year. And we've already got some folks below freezing, especially as you go northwest. Our friends up in Kerrville, they're already sitting at 32 degrees. It's 36 in Bernie, even 27 already in Helotes. So it will be a cold night. The combination of clear skies, lighter winds now, and also very dry air mean we're in store for a widespread freeze overnight. I'll show you your morning low temperatures, and we'll talk about what the rest of the weekend has in store coming up in just a few minutes.
Team USA continues to win big after earning their 5th gold medal. More on that and on the skating controversy that everyone's talking about. Plus, a simple online word game is what police are saying saved a woman from a hostage situation. The clues that helped her granddaughter figure out she was in trouble.
Plus, President Joe Biden and Russian President Vladimir Putin speaking on the phone about a situation in Ukraine, what was said, and what the U.S. is planning to do next. It was a high-stakes phone call between President Biden and Russian President Vladimir Putin, the two leaders talking for a little over an hour.
President Biden warning Putin of the consequences if he invades Ukraine. Here's ABC's Ty Hernandez with the details.
A Biden administration official says a phone call between President Joe Biden and Russian President Vladimir Putin over the situation in Ukraine was, quote, professional and substantive, but there was, quote, no fundamental change in the dynamic.
We're in the window when a Russian invasion can start at any time if President Putin so decides.
The president warning a Russian attack would cause widespread human suffering, telling Putin the U.S. and its allies would, quote, respond decisively with swift and severe costs. Earlier, Secretary of State Antony Blinken spoke with his Russian counterpart, Sergei Lavrov, who denied Russia intends to invade Ukraine and accused the U.S. and the West of trying to create a scenario where they can declare, quote, diplomatic victory when Russia ends up not invading.
We don't know whether President Putin has made that decision, but we do know that he has put in place the capacity to act on very short notice.
The State Department has ordered all U.S. Embassy personnel, except a core team of diplomats, to leave Kiev immediately. Those who don't leave are being warned the U.S. government will not be able to evacuate U.S. citizens in the event of Russian military action. The Ukrainian president at odds with the U.S. assessment of the threat of a Russian invasion.
The best friend for enemies, that is panic in our country. And all this information that helps only for panic doesn't help us.
For Ukrainians, life goes on as usual.
Honestly, I'm not afraid because the war wouldn't start like in a week. It's already been going for 8 years, so nothing new for us.
Both the U.S. and Russia agreeing to continue talking. Ty Hernandez, ABC News, New York.
Back here at home, it was a little windy, just a little windy.
Just a tad.
Just a touch, yeah. A little annoying at times.
Yeah.
Was a bit much. Thankfully, winds are light now, and the wind will not be a nuisance for the rest of the weekend, and tomorrow is really going to be a beautiful day. Let's take a look at the time lapse from today. Unfortunately, as that front was coming through this morning, we did not get any rain. There was some lingering cloud cover into the afternoon, but by this evening, skies were clear, and as winds relax, temperatures have begun to fall. We're near 40 at the airport now, and here's a perfect setup for temperatures to really bottom out overnight. Clear skies. Light winds now, westerly winds just 5 miles per hour at the airport, and also very dry air. Our dew points are down in the 20s. Those three things are going to set us up for a widespread freeze through tomorrow morning. Sustained winds currently calm in New Braunfels and Uvalde. Otherwise, winds are close to 5 miles per hour, and that's about where they'll stay through the overnight hours. Dew points across the area anywhere from the teens to the low 30s. That is all very dry air. So again, our lighter winds, the really dry air in place, and also clear skies will take our temperatures down for a lot of us, essentially for all of us, with the exception of Laredo and Corpus Christi, to below freezing overnight. We're 40 now in New Braunfels, 41 Carrizo Springs. Below freezing already in Fredericksburg, right at the freezing mark in Kerrville. Here's how I expect temperatures to play out overnight. Again, a widespread freeze is likely, with the exception of places like Laredo and Corpus Christi, even the Houston area. But if you're in the KSAT viewing area, plan on a freeze overnight. For most of us, along Highway 90 up 35 to New Braunfels and Austin, including Bexar County and the San Antonio Metro, this will be a light freeze. I do expect a hard freeze across a portion of the hill country. And we've gotten a couple of questions about the difference between a light freeze and a hard freeze. Hard freeze is 28 degrees or below for 4 or more hours. And that's what we anticipate for the hill country. Everyone else will not be in a hard freeze. So we could just call it a regular old freeze, but sometimes we refer to it as a light freeze just to differentiate from the hard freeze territory. Just plan on a freeze overnight, but temperatures will quickly rebound tomorrow. Soon as the sun comes up, we'll jump above freezing within an hour or two, and this is where we end up tomorrow afternoon. Sunny skies, light winds, variable light winds tomorrow, and afternoon highs mid to upper 60s for a lot of us, but I do think some folks off to the west of 35 could touch 70 tomorrow afternoon. So a big jump in our temperatures from morning to afternoon, and that trend will continue for a few more days, Monday into Tuesday. As we get closer to the middle of next week, Wednesday and Thursday, not as much of a spread in our morning and afternoon temperatures, because humidity will start to come up just a little bit before our next cold front arrives early Thursday of next week. So we've still got several days to go, but here's a look at how things look Wednesday. I do think as we get some higher humidity rolling back in by Wednesday, we could have some isolated rain Wednesday, and then also an isolated rain chance as we get into Thursday with the passage of our next cold front. This is expected to roll through late Wednesday night, early Thursday morning. And while this paints a decent picture for rain, it looks like it's going to be just out of reach, mainly north and east of our area. Here's the rainfall potential over the next 5 days. As you see those blue colors up near Waco, Bryan College Station there north of Houston, those are the places that are looking at maybe more than an inch of rain. Those are the kind of numbers we need. Unfortunately, it does look like we'll be on the tail end of things. Some areas north of Highway 90 could see less than a quarter inch of rain. That's how things look right now. So we'll keep an eye on these rain chances for you Wednesday into Thursday next week. In the meantime, enjoy the great weather tomorrow afternoon and evening for the big game. And no worries for weather on Valentine's Day either. Should be very nice Monday evening, guys.
All right, good looking forecast. Thanks, Katie.
All right, the Spurs are on their annual rodeo road trip, and that makes it a lot better when they can win on the road.
Yeah, and they've won 2 straight now, thanks in large part to DeJounte Murray, who's having a fantastic NBA season. Tonight, he had another 30-plus point effort and 10-plus assist game. The only NBA player to do that in back-to-back games this season. Plus, in boys high school basketball, we have a handful of games for you, including Clark versus Madison coming up.
Did you notice the big ovation you got when you checked in?
I'm really appreciative of all the love that they showed me. Kind of had some goosebumps when I was checking in and a little nerves, but I was extremely thankful for the ovation that I got.
Celtics fans showered Derek White with love last night in his Boston debut in big board sports. Spurs at the Pelicans tonight, the second game of back-to-backs for San Antonio. First quarter, DeJounte Murray steals the ball and plays the alley-oop with Lonnie Walker IV, who adjusts nicely to grab the ball for the layup. Spurs lead 25-17. Later on, Pels turn it over again. Trey Jones picks it up and feeds Lonnie for some alley-oop jam, and it's 33-26 San Antonio. Second quarter, DeJounte on the break now goes Euro step layup to cap a 9-0 run. Spurs up 10, and they led 59-53 at halftime. Third quarter, Spurs still leading. Murray Murray drives baseline and makes a difficult reverse layup and one. Free throw was good. Spurs go up 80-68. Late in the quarter, Devin Vassell passes to Josh Primo for three. It's good for the Spurs' biggest lead at 98-80. Fourth quarter now, Murray drives, stops, and makes a step-back J with 3:45 to go. He scored 31 points, and the Spurs win 124-114.
We showed it a lot, for spurts in the season versus good teams. I think just for us, we got to continue to play with that chip on our shoulders. We all got something to prove, each and one of us, and play together and have fun. I'm trying to smile and have fun more, because when you have fun, it allows you to play, really good basketball on both ends of the floor.
Next up, the Spurs will play at the Chicago Bulls Monday night. Point guard Derek White made his Boston Celtics debut last night. He got a standing ovation the first time that he entered the game. White scored 15 points off of the bench just 2 days after the Spurs traded him to Boston. Derek said Pop went to his room while the team was in Atlanta to tell him the news.
Yeah, it was tough. He drafted me, built me up and gave me confidence and stuff like that. So, I'm extremely thankful for him. Not even just him, the whole coaching staff, training staff, front office. I had a lot of love for everybody, all my teammates and everything. So I can't really put into words how much I love all of them.
White said he didn't find out he was playing last night until almost an hour before the game. Only a few games left in the boys' high school basketball regular season. District 28 6A action this afternoon at Lee High School. 14-1 Clark against Madison. Cougars are rolling in this one. Jordan Mason gets it to Ethan Curley down low, and he puts it up and in. Clark leads by 28, and they keep their foot on the gas. This time, Mason with the lob to Dom Guerra for the lay-in. Clark wins big, 67-34, improving to 15-1 in district play. Same district, Johnson taking on Lee. Volunteers trying to rally, down by 10 in the fourth quarter. Feed goes inside to Kashawn Napoleon for the basket, counted and one. That cuts the lead down to 8. But the Jaguars answer, pushing the pace on the break. David Payne to Kendall Dow for the easy 2. Dow posted a game-high 22. Johnson wins it 57-46, improving to 11-4 in district. In District 29 6A, big matchup between Taft and O'Connor at Northside Sports Gym, as seen on Texas Sports Productions. Panthers keeping pace in the second quarter. Joshua Moreno banks at home to make it a 2-point game. Raiders still at 21-17 at the half, and they pull away in the third. Isaiah Salazar with the long pass ahead to Damir Haney for a wide-open layup, 33-25 Taft. Then in the fourth, Salazar fakes the pass and hits the pull-up J. Good. Raiders keep their playoff hopes alive, 48-42. Trey Flowers is Super Bowl bound thanks to the Bengals. We got it later in sports.
Thank you, Larry. We'll look forward to that.
We'll be right back. Another gold medal for the U.S. in the 2022 Winter Games, this one for mixed snowboard cross, and the men's hockey team with their first Olympic win over Canada in 12 years.
Here's ABC's Morgan Norwood with the latest.
Team USA winning its 5th gold medal of these 2022 Beijing Winter Olympics. Lindsey Jacobellis and Nick Baumgartner winning in the mixed snowboard cross. At 40 years old, Baumgartner is the oldest snowboarder to win an Olympic medal. And at 36, Jacobellis is the second oldest. On the ice, a win for Team USA's men's hockey team, defeating Canada 4-2 in a preliminary round of the tournament. It was the first time the American men's hockey team beat Canada in the Olympics since 2010. The U.S. now gearing up to face Germany in the final match of that round. Meanwhile, the decision on whether 15-year-old Russian figure skater Kamila Valieva will be able to compete in the upcoming women's event hinging on an urgent hearing at the Court of Arbitration for Sport.
Tomorrow evening, the hearing will be conducted by video conference. So it means that there will be no participants except the CAS people. But we will make an announcement in public on Monday.
The controversy stemming from a positive drug test for a banned substance in December. The results not coming to light to the International Olympic Committee until after Valieva helped the Russian Olympic Committee win gold in the team skate event Monday. The Russian Olympic Committee has defended her, saying she passed doping tests before and after her positive drug test. In the inaugural Olympic monobob competition beginning this weekend, Americans Alana Myers-Taylor and Callie Humphreys are expected to be the top contenders in the new event. Both women tested positive for COVID recently, but recovered in time to keep their Olympic hopes on track. Morgan Norwood, ABC News.
Concerns for Queen Elizabeth's health over fears her son Prince Charles may have infected her with COVID-19. The prince is self-isolating, and the palace confirmed he did meet the Queen on Tuesday at Windsor Castle. Royal aides, always protective of the Queen's medical privacy, will not even say whether she's been tested, only that Her Majesty is not displaying any symptoms and her situation is being monitored.
Parents of kids under 5 will have to wait just a little longer to get their children protected by the COVID-19 vaccine. Pfizer delaying its request for FDA approval of its 2-dose vaccine for that age group. The FDA's Committee of Independent Advisors says it will now be about 2 months before any word on approval. Nationwide, the U.S. continuing to see a drop in positive cases, and some mask mandates are being lifted, but health officials caution Americans to keep the numbers in perspective. They say nearly 99% of U.S. counties are still reporting high transmission rates.
When you hear the word aquifer, one thing comes to mind: water. But there's a lot more to it than that. That's the focus of a new episode of KSAT Explains, which is out now and available to stream. This week, meteorologists Justin Horn and Sarah Spivey take the reins. Here they are with the story behind KSAT Explains, the Edwards Aquifer.
You know, growing up in San Antonio, I would hear about the aquifer and how its levels needed to be at a certain amount. And I always thought when I was younger that that was because we were trying to conserve the amount of water in the aquifer. Well, it wasn't until I started working at KSAT that I found out that that's not true at all. The only reason that we really monitor the water level is to keep the aquifer's water clean, clear, and flowing so that endangered species can stay healthy.
I've kind of always known that the federal government was involved at one point in the Edwards Aquifer and dictating how the water levels, where they needed to be, but I didn't know how involved they were and kind of why we do what we do as far as the endangered species and why we keep aquifer levels where they are, at least attempt to.
Something really cool is I actually got to interact with Texas blind salamanders, one of those species that is threatened in the aquifer. The Texas blind salamander is one of the creepiest and one of the cutest things I've ever seen in my life.
One thing that I got to do that I've never got to do, I asked before, but this is the first time we were granted access, was to see the J-17 well. Never seen it before. It's nothing exciting. It literally is just a hole in the ground in a building. But it is so important, and it's kind of that juxtaposition of something that's so important just sitting at a building at Fort Sam Houston, and the importance of that well itself is huge. We encourage everyone to check out this episode about the Edwards Aquifer on KSAT Explains. If you care about water and you care about the future of San Antonio, there's some good, important information in there.
You can stream the KSAT Explains Edwards Aquifer episode right now on ksat.com/explains and on the KSAT Plus app, available anywhere you stream.
Still ahead on the Nightbeat, a daily word game being hailed as a hero. See the amazing story of how the game Wordle saved a woman from a hostage situation.
So if you haven't heard of it, Wordle is a word game sensation saving players from boredom, and now it has saved an 80-year-old grandmother from a hostage situation.
Zoreen Shaw has the story.
This morning, 80-year-old Denise Holt grateful to be alive after a harrowing 20-hour hostage situation. Her rescue coming after her daughter says she did not post her Wordle score.
I wake up every day to her Wordle score.
But on Sunday, Jennifer did not get that response.
I was really bothered by it.
Her gut was right. After midnight on Sunday, police say an intruder broke into her mom's home.
So meanwhile, while you ladies were worrying, Denise, what was happening in your home?
A few feet away from me, I see a man coming into my bed, near my bedroom, climbing in bed with me.
The former middle school teacher knew she had to stay calm.
I don't know why I decided to get calm, but I did. And he was saying, I'm going to die.
Denise said the man threatened her with some kind of sharp object, then forcing the grandmother to stand in the shower near him.
I said to him, listen, you are the captain. I am on your team. We will do whatever you say.
She had no idea over 1,000 miles away, her daughter suspected something was off, calling police for a wellness check and a friend to go over who told them the shocking news.
It's impossible to process that when someone's telling you your mother is in an ambulance and there's a SWAT team and she was held hostage.
The Wordle super players are thinking nonstop of one 5-letter word now.
Lucky. It is how I have described this whole experience.
An experience with one very important takeaway.
They wanted to get the message out that you should stay in touch with your family.
The alleged intruder is facing home invasion and kidnapping charges. The day this happened, the Wordle word was skill, and these 3 ladies certainly had it. The skill to stay calm and the skill to know that something just was not right. Zoreen Shah, ABC News, Los Angeles.
All right, we're falling into the upper 30s now here in San Antonio at the airport. We've got clear skies, light winds now after a gusty day, and that's going to help our temperatures bottom out overnight. We are looking at a freeze tonight, very close to a freeze tomorrow night, and then getting a bit more mild over the next several nights. We'll talk more about your extended forecast coming up in just a couple minutes.
We had some beautiful stretches of weather, then the wind.
Yes.
And now comes a little bit of cold.
Yes, cold tonight, but tomorrow will be another really nice day. So if today was a little rough to do any yard work or anything because of the wind, tomorrow will be a much better day to spend some time outside. Let's talk about Mountain Cedar. Are you sick of talking about Mountain Cedar yet? Yes. I am. Courtney is. It's been 2 months since we started to see some really high counts come in here. And when we talk about Mountain Cedar, we typically say that it starts in December and it usually wraps up around Valentine's Day. So what you're looking at here, the red line that slopes up through January, early February, and then drops, that's the average count. So that's why we do typically say that Mountain Cedar starts to fall off around Valentine's Day. The bars, the single bars that are sticking up here, those are the actual counts that we've gotten in this Mountain Cedar season. So we started to see some very high counts even before the upslope here. Now we are on the downhill slide, but we did have a high count today of just under 3,000, likely because of the gusty north winds behind this morning's cold front. So be sure to check in with meteorologist Sarah Spivey in the morning on GMSA. Once she gets that pollen count in, she'll share it with you on air, also online and via the KSAT weather app. She'll send a push alert right to your phone if you have the app installed and updated. So we'll keep our fingers crossed. The Mountain Cedar is not an issue tomorrow. Hopefully with winds relaxing tonight, it will all kind of settle down and we'll have a good look and pollen count for you tomorrow. A beautiful day to get out to the rodeo tomorrow if that's in your plans. We'll start off cold in the morning, but by lunchtime, look at this. We're already close to 60 degrees, and then eventually in the afternoon we'll top out closer to 70, mid to upper 60s around San Antonio, but we certainly could have some spots touch 70, mainly west of I-35 tomorrow. Really quiet out there on satellite and radar. Unfortunately, today's cold front did not bring us any rain, but there was some precipitation off to our north, even as close to us as Austin and places like Bryan College Station and even East Texas and Tyler. They actually got a little bit of snow. Unfortunately, we were on the very dry end of things, and our front is now way off to the east in the Gulf of Mexico. Very cold air mass has settled in across Texas. 21 in Marfa currently, 30 in Abilene, also 30 across the Texas Panhandle. We are sitting at 36, but we'll also drop down close to 30 degrees overnight. So here's how temperatures stand currently. Freezing from Fredericksburg down to Hondo, just shy of 50 in Del Rio, and it's 46 in Cotulla, but with calm to very light winds overnight. Really dry air and also clear skies. Temperatures across the area are expected to drop below freezing, just to the freezing mark, down well south of Highway 90 from Beeville over to Cotulla. So do plan on a freeze overnight, but with a lot of sunshine tomorrow, again, we warm up really quickly. Here's how I expect your high temperatures play out on Sunday. Mid-60s across the hill country, just shy of 70 in Cotulla, 68 Carrizo Springs, and 64 in Gonzales tomorrow afternoon. It's going to be an absolutely beautiful day with light winds. Much better day kind of to be outside since the wind won't be so bad tomorrow. Speaking of humidity, really dry air in place now, and we're going to keep humidity very low through early next week, Monday, even into Tuesday. As we get into Wednesday, dew points will try to jump into muggy territory. However, they'll be pushed back down pretty quickly Thursday of next week with our next front. So I'm going to take you to Wednesday. A slightly more humid air mass moving in. Also, some isolated showers will be possible, some streamer showers early on Wednesday. And then our next front arrives late Wednesday night, early Thursday. We were hoping this could give us a better chance of rain. For now, it looks like isolated showers could result in maybe less than a quarter inch of rain north of Highway 90. So hopefully some better rain chances come to fruition there. But for now, things are looking pretty dry as far as rain goes over the next week. Beautiful day tomorrow, though. Valentine's Day also looks really nice if you've got plans Monday evening. Light jacket or a light sweater will do just fine, guys.
I know Tim's more of a pro yard work person than I am. I attempted today,
I was off all last week, and I did leaves, and then all my work was undone when the wind came in. So
it's pointless.
Yeah,
amateur,
I like to waste my
amateur
time.
hour.
Yeah, I like to waste my time. All right, there's something happening tomorrow, Larry. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, big football game, right? The Super Bowl, Tim, you know that. Come on. Rams and the Bengals. Trey Flowers from Judson is in the game thanks to Cincinnati. Plus, we have regional high school wrestling highlights coming up.